Now boarding flight 1873. Now boarding flight 1873.
Sorry. One more thing. Yeah, go ahead. One more thing. Come on. Okay, I can wait. Okay. Go ahead, guys. All right. See you later, man.
Boarding flight 1873. Captain Price, calling Captain Price.
We are expecting this flight to be smooth, turbulence-free, and enjoyable. There are a few things you need to know. In case of an emergency, there are 2 exits. Please take a moment to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. For safety reasons, we ask that you do not rush to the exits at the end of the flight. Take a moment to mingle and to visit with one another. If, however, you have an urgent need to evacuate the aircraft at any time to make a monetary donation, sidelong lighting will guide you towards the nearest exit and a uniformed crew member will assist you. The lavatories are located past the doors, down the hall, to your left. Make sure your seats are comfortably placed and your phones are in airplane mode or on silent. Momentarily, attendants will be passing through the cabin to serve you a delicious meal. Again, thank you for choosing Golden Lion Airways, Flight 1873. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your flight.
Presenting our very own pilot of the evening, Mr. Frederick Price. You probably remember him from last year. Frederick is a junior majoring in multimedia communications. He is a native of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and the son of Frederick and Paula Price. Frederick has known since the age of 13 that he wanted to pursue a degree in journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us to welcome our pilot to success, Master of Ceremonies, Frederick Price.
Good evening, I hope everyone's doing well. I always gotta have a microphone, not that I need a microphone because I am pretty loud. I'm so happy to be here. The crowd, you all just did so well, I love it. And let me tell you, we had so much fun making that video. Did everyone see that video clearly? We had so much fun making that, and let me tell you why. Because I am a late person. Everything I do, for whatever reason, I can't be punctual, I'm always late. So please give the people from Title III a big round of applause for that, because they did an amazing job. There we go. Alrighty, so as I mentioned, good evening, and welcome to the annual Donors Banquet. You had many choices for the evening, but we are so pleased that you chose the Donors Banquet, a flight to success. I would be amiss if I did not introduce to you our flight attendants for tonight. Miss Kennedy Marks, Gerard White, Cornell Jones, Rakoya Angelin, Isaiah Bolden, Amaya Jordan, Sydney Williams, and Kamara Hanley. Let's please give them a round of applause. They're sitting back there at that back table, ladies. And thank you for those vital instructions as well. Now, we often tell you how significant your dollars are to us, but tonight, we're going to show you. The cockpit is in order, so let's begin our flight. this time of the year around homecoming, I get to see the alumni. And there's always one that comes to me and say, well, where did you get that? I didn't know that was on campus. That wasn't here when I was here. So I really do enjoy it. So the night is just getting started. We're going to have greetings from one of our first class passengers, Mr. George Cotton. He is the Vice Chancellor of Institutional, thank you, advancement here at the university. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone.
Good evening, everybody. Let's try that one more time. Good evening, everybody. Perfect. As was indicated, my name is George Cotton, Sr., Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. I am one of the newest members of the cabinet, and I want to begin by thanking Dr. Alexander for giving me a job. I am a country boy from West Helena, Arkansas. And I've met several people in the audience who are from that West Helena, Lexa, Barton, Marvel area. And I want to say it's good to be back home. I just told a few people I took the long way to get back to Pine Bluff. And I'm getting used to not only the heat here, but I'm getting used to the mosquitoes all over again. You know, I'm not going to be long because I'm just supposed to bring greetings, but I want you to think just for a moment, because I don't believe that life gives us accidents. There's really no accident to the fact that we're all sitting here saluting and paying tribute to the difference that you have made in the lives of children. So I want to begin also by thanking you for your generosity. Thank you for caring enough to make a difference in the lives of children. And thank you for caring enough for continuing a fantastic legacy at this historic institution. The other thing I want you to think about is to realize that the difference that the choice that you made 30, 40, 20 years ago really has made all the difference. Because who would have thought that when you showed up here on the yard 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, that we'd be sitting here today talking about how we lay the foundation for a new generation of students. So as the person who has the opportunity to greet you, again, I want to say thank you for all that you do. This gathering this evening is our small way of saying we could not do what we do without the fact that you care enough to make a difference. So on behalf of all the staff here at the university, and most certainly on behalf of the development team, the advancement staff, those in communications who work so hard to say thank you, I want to salute what you do and to say that we value you, we deeply appreciate you, and we want you to make sure that we continue to roar proudly because we want to indeed make you proud of all that we do. Thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you for coming this evening.
And thank you again, Mr. George Cotton, for that wonderful greeting. I would like to take a moment during our flight tonight to bring before you Mr. Rodriguez Thomas. We had a little issue with his name earlier, but I think I got it. He was a former passenger that completed his flight to success at the university. He majored in industrial technology. He landed from his flight in 2018, and he is here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Mr. Rodriguez Thomas a round of applause.
Greetings, everyone. I must say myself, it sure feels great to be here in front of you all. As you said, my name is Rodriguez Thompson. I'm a December 18 grad of the illustrious University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. If you're a regular attendee, which I'm sure many of you are, you may or may not remember me greeting, maybe escorting guests to their table, practically anything to assist the program and keep a smile on your beautiful, lovely faces. And now, after graduating, it's with great pleasure that I share with you my experience boarding Golden Lion Airways on a flight to success. Well, to begin, I graduated in Pine Bluff in 2015. Finally decided to go to UAPB and declared my majors to be Industrial Technology, Management, and Applied Engineering. It's pretty long, right? Yeah, I thought so too. So first things first, I moved on campus. And let me assure you, even though I'm a native of Pine Bluff, moving on campus felt like moving to another city. It just gave Pine Bluff a new meaning, a new aura. And soon after enrolling, I became involved with every org I even thought I was interested in. Honors College, STEM, it's a given. Volunteer, why not? Modeling, I used to rip the runway. And over the course, I've also had my share of intern work experiences as well, beginning with a research and development intern. I also worked at Evergreen Packaging as a manufacturing intern, and Northrop Grumman at the Global Operations Center of Excellence in Palmdale, California. However, they all dimmer to insubstantial when it comes to my family at the development office. See, I began as an office clerk, filing, office work, copying. Then I moved up to administrative specialist. And next thing you know, boom, January 1st, 2019. I officially wasn't a student anymore. And I mean, I didn't plan to work at UAPB for the rest of my life. What was I gonna do? What would you do? See, me, I fought the fight of faith. I stood the test of time. We have to understand every flight, no matter the destination, you will undergo some turbulence. And then there's Dr. Hall. Oh, Dr. Hall. She acknowledged my value, the persistence, willingness, and drive to propel forward. So yes, she granted me the opportunity to aid in overseeing various construction projects on the campus as a construction assistant, AKA project engineer. Sweet, right? We went to HBCU, start hiring project engineers. No, but it was great. I stood alongside IA, Title III, and facilities management to assist and aid with pre-construction coordination, design layout, and observation inspections. 3 areas: Caldwell Hall, which is a new IA renovation. Coos Cow is also going to be renovated, and the Fine Arts as well. Excuse me, man. Yeah, so if you ever went down University Drive, I'm pretty sure you saw the mess going on at the Fine Arts that's going to be elevated edition. And as months passed, Chief John Bear of the Quapaw Nation began hosting meet and greets concerning the Saracen Casino Resort. In turn of me going to each and every one, selling myself, and landing me a job with Suffolk Construction, a company out of Dallas, Texas, that made it to Pine Bluff, Arkansas to manage the project. Okay, all right, before I go any further, I feel I must go over some FAQs. Trust me, I've gone over this 100 times. So, when will it be finished? The casino will be done summer of 2020. How many square feet is it? 7. And what do? I'm a project engineer, a real one this time. Okay, that's good. So what do you really do? So there are many types of project engineers, and I'm a construction project engineer. So my scope of work includes coordinating specifications requested by the owner that must match the plans or the drawings, or what some people may call blueprints, which must adhere to the baseline schedule. So liaison with subcontractors, suppliers, the architect, several engineers, inspectors, and ensure all is up to date, on time, on budget, and all documented. Another question I get, so you're making the big bucks now? Negative. Okay, I'm starting to find that a salary without overtime pay is just unethical, simply immoral. But I'm gonna stand there to speak on my experiences because it's all a testimony. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the everlasting support. Support from instructors, my advisor, Dr. Colin, STEM colleagues, Honors College, the Chancellor's Cabinet, TMP Amici and Dedham, my family, my second family in Treasures Hall, all philanthropists, all friends, and I especially want to thank dear mother. I love the pride. Oh, that seems like it's my time. Sorry, I really wish I could share more with you all, but I have another flight to catch.
As we progress with this program, we are prepared to serve dinner. But before we get to that point, I would ask each and every one of you to please give thanks and express it to your neighbor in your own way, okay? Dinner will now be served, and please enjoy the in-flight musical entertainment by the UAPB Jazz Band combo, Gotta Play. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone enjoyed their dinner. Let's first give a round of applause to the band that just performed. They did an excellent job. They're exiting the door. Turn around, you can see them. Go ahead and wave at them. They did a wonderful job. And please continue to enjoy your meal as well. It is very important to us that you, our past, who fuel the flight of success, hear how your annual contributions help UAPB students. So tonight, 2 students are excited to share with you just how special you are to them and their educational journey. First to come to the stage is Mr. Isaiah Bolden, a senior majoring in Industrial Technology Management at the University and Applied Engineering from Orlando, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Isaiah Bolden.
Hello, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good. Everybody does much better after you get the food in your system, right? You know, like you said, my name is Isaiah Bolden. I'm a graduating senior here at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, major in Industrial Technology Management and Applied Engineering. Yes, we do have to say the whole thing. And so I would just like to thank you guys personally. Just started off my story. In 2012, I was actually kicked out of my former university at Central Florida because of my academics. And what I always like to say is while I was out partying with my friends, nobody told me that they were actually doing their homework. And I actually went home and I got kicked out and they stayed. So needless to say, after that moment, I was forced into working odd jobs, dishwashing, working at the airport, working at a tax company, moving furniture. And at some point, it got my mind to say, this isn't where I want my life to go. I know I can do better. How can I do that? And once I got the opportunity, I was in Atlanta and UAPB just happened to have a conference in Atlanta. And I went out with my uncle, Chris Robertson, who works here at the school. He asked me to come out and meet people, and I met the staff, and I met actually some of you in here. I remember I met that day, and I'll never forget that moment, and it convinced me just to come and see what UAPB was about. And when I came up, I remember I had 2 weeks worth of clothes with me, and I met more people, more staff when I came to school and visit, and I've been here ever since. So I left my past university with a 1.8 GPA. Since I've been here, I've been able to maintain a 3-point GPA and a 4.0 on my major in industrial technology. Thank you, thank you. And I bring that up to say, and also how this pertains to you. And my second semester, I remember because of my academic situation, I was going through financial hardship. And I've been paying out of pocket. And I was struggling with paying for school. And actually, I was able to get the Golden Lion Scholarship by you guys to help me stay in school and continue working towards my graduation coming in December. And now I'm leaving this university already with a job in hand, working as a business consultant based out of Dallas. So first of all, I would like to say my flight to success had a lot of layovers, had a lot of delays, went to a lot of places I didn't expect it to go, but thankfully I was able to board this ship at UAPB, and it's been able to help me take off in life. So I want to thank you guys personally for everything that you guys have done for me and for the students here at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Thank you.
Wasn't that a wonderful story? This is a wonderful plane to be on, to say the least. Now I would like to introduce to you Mr. Sidney Williams. He's a sophomore at the university, majoring in computer science, and he's from right here, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Sidney Williams.
Before I start, how about another round of applause for Brother Isaiah? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Sidney Williams Jr. I am, hold on, y'all mind? I am a computer science major here at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I am a sophomore. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, but I was born and raised right here in the great Pine Bluff. Proud. I am a sophomore with a cumulative 3.8 GPA. Not easy. Both my mother and my father are proud UAPB alumni members. I also have other relatives, such as my aunt and her husband, who attended this great institution as well. When people ask me what made me choose this university, I think about my childhood. My mother raised me while being a student herself here on that campus. My mother here's a funny story. My mother actually went into labor with me, no lie, taking her midterm exam almost 20 years ago to this day. My birthday's on October 26th, so luckily she passed and she graduated from this university. I've heard many stories about me running around everywhere in the Office of Student Accounts, but I was really too young to remember half of all those stories going on. It wasn't until 3 years ago at Lions Fever Day I actually considered UAPB though. Being a student, it helps me expand my knowledge, further my future career goals in computer science, and just help others. I was accepted into the Summer Lions program my freshman year and was fortunate to receive refunds from donors that allowed me to participate. The Lions program really helped me by giving me an abundance of networking skills and receiving an early experience into what college had to offer. During the Lions program, I was able to participate in an internship with the physics department. And I actually learned how physics plays a very, 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 very pivotal role in computer science. Dr. Mortazavi knows what I'm talking about. But that donation was a blessing. It really helped me and my family out when times were very challenging. I want to thank all the donors and contributors to the university, which allows students like myself to receive educational opportunities and financial security. I am sincerely grateful for all your contributions. It really set the precedence for my academic career. And I believe in the flight to success, but I have another quote. I believe in the saying, paying it forward. Someone took a chance on me that allowed a student from right here in Palm Bluff, Arkansas, a chance to show his full potential. Now I try to return the favor by volunteering, tutoring, and assisting anyone in need. I'm in various organizations in the university, including STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, Black Male Achievers, NSBE, the National Society for Black Engineers, UAPB Scholars, and the Lions Program Alumni Association. Each organization plays an important role on campus and allows me to showcase my academic and personal ability when it comes to helping others. I'm excited about my future with the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and truly thankful for all the support. Again, I want to thank everyone for their time, donations, and support to allow students like myself to pay it forward. Thank you and have a blessed evening. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and have a blessed evening.
Isn't it wonderful, let me readjust this mic, there we go. Isn't it wonderful to hear from students about how significant your dollars to them are in reaching their destination and goals? Like Sydney and Isaiah said, they had minor turbulence and a couple of layovers, but they boarded flight 1873, and that's getting them where they need to be. So please give them a round of applause, because they are doing it. At this time, I would like for you to help me welcome to the stage Mr. Kevin Crumpton. He's a sophomore at the university majoring in chemistry, and tonight he will be singing What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Kevin Crumpton, everyone.
What a wonderful world.
Come on, let's give him another round of applause. Didn't he do so well? You should hear Kevin at church. He's wonderful. He's also a part of the Vesper Choir at UAPB. They all do really well. It is also very insightful to hear from you, our donors, as to why you have joyously and generously fueled the flight for success for our students. I would like to introduce to you two individuals who have done just that. They will share with us exactly why they are compelled to give. Introducing Dr. Diane Gilliland. She carries the unique distinction of being the first person in the history of the Arkansas Department of Higher Education to reverse decades of funding disparity for UAPB. Dr. Gilliland, former Chief Financial Officer for the Arkansas Department of Higher Education, worked diligently to advocate for UAPB, and her passionate commitment led to the allocation of a $30 million state appropriation for new construction, overdue renovations, and critical replacement of underground pipelines. Dr. Gilliland has been a member of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Foundation Fund Board since 2003, and the University of Arkansas Foundation Incorporated board since 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Dr. Diane Gilliland.
Good evening. Good evening. I am so glad to be here tonight and to be on this flight. And in fact, I just didn't know it, but I've been on this flight since 1988. I'm not kidding you. And it has been a great flight with no crashes and burns. I'm not kidding. I really mean that, because after not just decades, but a century of underfunding this institution, it's hard. I don't know how you've done it. I really don't. But I am delighted to be a small part of it. And the Lord touched my heart about UAPB in 1988, whenever I first came back here and was at the Department of Higher Education. And I was able to, by the grace of God, we had legislators who passed a bill for $300 million for Arkansas higher education, and gave the decision to, not just to me, but to me and our staff and board. And I don't know why they did it. I don't know how they did it, how it ever got done. Probably, I know it's never been done before. I bet it's never done afterwards either. But they put it in the hands of professionals, thinking, I think, that they could make us roll over. That Harry Ward could get his $50 million for his bed tower at the medical center. And that other people that are still living, that I won't call by name, who could get this and that and the other. But we didn't give. And what we said is, okay, if you're going to get this big money, you're going to have to match it. UAPB stepped up, and they got matches from all through Pine Bluff, which was really wonderful. And Simmons Bank, it's so long ago I can't remember who all stepped up, but the McGeorge group did, I think, a number of individuals too. But I wanted to say to you that this is for the students that I have been in touch with, and the faculty since I have been here have just been amazing. And UAPB is one of the best kept secrets. Shouldn't be, but it's amazing. And years ago, until tonight, I really didn't understand that I was a gas station attendant, or one of those folks that's out on the runway. I think they call them gas jockeys, who are filling up the planes and all that kind of stuff. I didn't understand that that's the role and one of the callings in my life was to be an attendant, a fueling attendant. But that's really, it sort of supersedes everything that the Lord has told me about my calling in life. And I was in a real serious automobile accident in 1980. But for the grace of God, I would not be standing here, okay? But in 82, he told me I had signed a contract with Merrill Lynch in St. Louis, and I walked in to sign the final papers, and I felt this tap on the shoulder that says, "You're not a stockbroker, you're a teacher." So there I was, and I had to go in and tell the guy, saying, "You know, I'm here to sign, but I can't do it. I'm a teacher." And so I've been in that role. A few years later, like in 1997, he told me that my calling in life was to be a radical lover and a radical giver. And at the time, I had been fired twice in 12 months, so I didn't have hardly anything to give, but that was the calling. And then after that, it became a radical forgiver to the person who fired me, and lives 2 doors down from me now. You gotta walk it out. You know, you can forgive, but well, walking the forgiveness out is another thing. You know, and then lately, in the last few years, it's to be a radical obeyer, and I've probably been less at that than I should be. But what I wanted to say is that UAPB has been on my heart. Whenever I worked at the Department of Higher Education, I was directing state money where it should have been. Okay, should have been for 100 years. Interestingly enough, after Bill Clinton was president and President Mandela was released from prison, the Ford Foundation hired me to go to South Africa to work with them to do exactly what was done here. It was known as the Arkansas model. We're going to have to take it away from some and give it to others, okay? And as a result of me doing that work, I had a niece who decided to go over on a mission trip and work at a baby home. And she's been in Pretoria for 5 years, and some of you here know his family flew over for a wedding in December. We flew back on the 26th of December and had a Swazi traditional wedding. So I now have a Swazi nephew and a Swazi great nephew, you know, and it's amazing how you see all these things weave together. I mean, UAPB to South Africa. You know what they've been doing, how they funded their institutions? They gave, and this is told to me by a woman named Taboho Moshe, who's a professor at NYU, but she was from South Africa. She was like most other people our age, were born in townships. And so she had been brought back to work in Mandela's higher ed effort. And so I said, you know, what are we dealing with here? You know, I had gone around and not talked to any institutions yet, but so she said, well, Diane, let me ask you this. How well would you have done in your freshman algebra class if the teacher spoke only in Afrikaans? And I laughed, and she didn't laugh. And I said, Taboho, you gotta be kidding me. She said, no, we spoke mostly English and Zulu. And she said, they would only speak to us in English. I mean, and guess how they divided the money up? All the black students were in black schools, all the white students were in white schools. They were being spoken to in Afrikaans, which they all spoke. Our group was not. And so they gave the money on the percentage of students who passed the exit exam. And they'd been taught in Afrikaans, okay? And so this is, I was, well, anyway, This has been a hard issue for me that I never thought I would be dealing with in South Africa. And then come back, and then I have now family in South Africa. But here in my giving, I give to the church, and I give to UAPB. Okay. And I've only said this once publicly before, but I'm going to say it again. All of you are my cousins. Your parents are my aunts and uncles. And you know, the science proves it. There are no real races. That it's a social construct. Our genetic code throughout the world is 99.988% the same. Okay? We are one race. We're not a billion races, okay? And so this is the place where I think that I am supposed to give, and I intend to keep it up. And I've loved being on this flight, and I hope I'm staying on it for another 20 or 30 years.
Thank you, Dr. Gilliland, who is exiting back to her seat, for your continued support to UAPB. Now I want to introduce to you Mr. Frank Dorsey II. Mr. Dorsey is the Associate Director of Student Engagement at Johnson C. Johnson University. He received his bachelor's degree from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and earned his Master of Science in College Student Personnel from Arkansas Tech University. He recently participated in the Community Building Initiative's Leaders Under 40 program to connect with other leaders who are passionate about the achievement of inclusion and justice for all. Those of you who have been here before may remember Frank as a past pilot for this flight when he was a student at UAPB. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Dorsey.
The nerves just kicked in. Y'all laughing though, for real. All right, you ready? State College, we greet thee with love and devotion. As mentioned, I am Frank D. Dorsey II, a 2014 alumnus of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. It is an honor and pleasure to stand before the lit alumni. I know Dr. Hall's facial expression is probably going crazy, wondering why am I using slang at the podium. However, lit is a used term from the students to describe something really awesome. So when I look at this crowd, it's lit. Legends, icons, and trailblazers. I was recruited to the university by Miss Karen Blunt 10 years ago to be a university cheerleader. She sent the legendary pit bull recruiter, Mr. Carl Wimper, to come get me from West Memphis, Arkansas, and I sat here for a good while supporting the university. While at UAPB, I was an active class leader, serving as a senator and the president. I was an officer for the Student Government Association, an editor of the Lion Yearbook, and editor of the Arkansas newspaper. I was a Golden Ambassador, and they even let me walk around with the 84th Miss University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. After graduation, I was a recruitment specialist, and I served as an administrative assistant in the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Hey, Mr. Bennett. Along with that, one of the most rewarding roles I had while here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff was leading the Circle of Pride. The Circle of Pride was a group of students dedicated for philanthropic service, which included raising money for student scholarships. Yes, I was one of those students that called your phone in the spring semester to verify your address, check on your well-being, invite you to homecoming, encourage you to increase your giving, and tell you I'll talk to you later. I was trained to work with the university's most valuable assets, the alumni. By the time I left UAPB, I felt like my experience was truly golden, and that's why I gave. When you asked me 5 years ago in 2014, why do I give? It's because you gave to me. But today, my reason for giving is much different. It's deeper, and that's why I'm kind of sitting up here shaking, because I know I'm about to reveal some things that's really close to me. In April of this year, there was a 15-year-old boy by the name of Nigel Shelby who died by suicide after being bullied because of his orientation. While his mother described him as a full of light and joy, she also stated that Nigel struggled with his identity. I immediately thought of the young Frank Dorsey, sitting in Johnson Hall in 2009 with a similar struggle. Proud of who he was, but unable to declare and project that on the campus of UAPB. However, attending UAPB made me a privileged member of my community. See, Nigel could have used a Courtney Strickland. She would have told him to keep his head up, walk with confidence, and no one has time to entertain the low opinions of others. Nigel could have used a Stephanie Sims, who would have reassured him that everything will be okay, everything will work out, especially if he prayed about it. Nigel could have found refuge in the office of Monique Benford. That would have been a place of refuge. He could have vented, cried, released anger, and received non-judgmental feedback. Nigel could have showed up and showed out in everything that he did, because Karen Blunt wouldn't have accepted anything less. Nigel's peers would have respected him like a king and followed him like a president. Nigel would have given someone else the encouragement to keep going. I give my time, my talent, and my treasure to the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff because I know there's another Nigel. I know there's another Frank that's trying to develop power, courage, and determination to go out and receive truth, justice, and wisdom. I give because I know there's a fact that someone's life is being saved through the unique student engagement that's happening at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I give because of the legends, the icons, and the trailblazers that's in this room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, alumni and friends, for your many, many, many acts of kindness and generosity. Because of you, students at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff receives an education that is student-focused, success-driven, and mission-based. It can't get any better than that.
Thank you. Dr. Gilliland and Mr. Dorsey, thank you for understanding how your dollars positively affect students like me and those who are present with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we, the students of UAPB, need you. And when you stand by us and grant us your support, we are encouraged even more to succeed. So, thank you. Coming back to the stage for an in-flight musical selection is again Mr. Kevin Crumpton. Let's warm him up with a round of applause.
How do you everybody? When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light that you see, no, I won't be afraid, oh, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, stand by me. If the sky that we live upon, it should tumble and fall, and the moon is the only light that you see. Oh, I will cry, I will cry. Oh, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Oh, I want to enjoy the music.
you, Mr. Crumpton. The in-flight entertainment you provided added to the value of tonight's flight. I would like to now introduce to you one of our valued first-class passengers. I'm sure a lot of you know him, if not everyone in this room. Mr. Calvin Booker, chairman of the UAPB Foundation Fund Board. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone.
Good evening. Chancellor Alexander, to Ms. Alexander, to the Chancellor's leadership team, I think he called them, his cabinet, Dr. Blakely, our Chancellor, former Chancellor here at this university, to the staff and students, administration, and all the, Mayor Washington. Mayor Washington is here with us tonight. I always have to acknowledge Mayor Washington. When I can get her attention, I like to acknowledge Mayor Washington. I always have to acknowledge Mayor Washington. And tonight, all of you are important. I want all the important people just raise your hand. All the important people. Everybody, you're important. Raise your hand, Staples. Everybody's important out there. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Everybody. That's the quickest way to get through that situation. I'd like to see the board members of the Foundation Fund Board, please. If you raise your hand, just raise your hand if you're staying where you are. Raise your hand. I think some of them have left, some of them are in. All right, Foundation Board members, thank you so much for all you do. I wanted to do something tonight just for a minute, Chancellor, if I could. We've had Foundation vice chancellors and people that are working with the Foundation group to come and go over the years. And this one particular person, I wanted to say this last year, and I didn't get a chance to do it. But one lady been with us for, I don't know, X number of years, but as vice chancellors come in this position, Cotton, and people leave and people come, we have one consistent person that's been with us. As chancellors come, chancellors go. And Margaret Hall, I just want to thank you for being with us, for sticking with us. She has been the one constant. Again, these bright lights, I can't see a thing. I don't know if she's over there or not. But Margaret, again, thank you for being the constant in this office. Margaret and I, sometimes I think she thought we weren't getting along with each other. 25 years ago, she's told me, she said, you don't think I can do this job? She's in Las Vegas at a summer conference. I said, Margaret, I didn't say that, you said that, okay? But we have bowed, but together we've been able to try to meet the goals. We've worked hard together. And I just want to say to Margaret tonight how much we appreciate you. And with all those people who have come and gone, again, you've been there and you've been consistent. So tonight I just want to pause to say thank you. Diane, I might just tell you, I didn't know how to say this. I still don't know how to say it. I didn't make no formal notes, but I don't know. I wanted to say we need more white cousins like you, but I couldn't say that. I wanted to say we need more cousins like you. I didn't know, but we just need more. We need more cousins like you, all right? They gave over $100,000, I think, this past year. And we all can finally say that we've had a cousin to give over $100,000 at this university. Yeah, we all have that claim now. I've been working with this institution, again, basically all my life. My father, who just turned 96 years old last week, was the first of our family to go to school here. And since then, we've had over 150 Booker related to come to this institution. Several of them are here now. And so I've been working for a long time. So Chancellor, on this flight, I'm looking for the exit door, okay? I'm trying to find the exit door, and I'm sure going to put on that oxygen mask if it falls down. I'm going to be the first one to take care of myself first. And I'll take around and see who else needs a little help. So it's been a good flight, good flight. Chancellor, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve on this board. By serving as the chairman of the fund board, and also y'all gave me a chance to serve with the UA System Foundation Board. That board, I think, have about $2.5 billion, and we get a chance to mingle with a lot of people. And this past year, we mingled to the point that board was able to help us with just a few things, and some things we can't even talk about, but we're gaining ground, and people are being encouraged about our university. Our chancellor and the fund board had a chance, the foundation board had a chance a few months ago to speak in front of people that he normally don't have a chance to speak in front of because of that board. And he did an excellent job, y'all. He had an excellent presentation about our university. And after people was coming to me saying, Booker, we're gonna help you all. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. We like what you all are doing at that university, and we really want to help you. So Chancellor, I want to thank you again for helping me help this institution with the presentation and work that you're doing. Now we thank all of you. We're here tonight to say thank you to you for what you've done and what you are doing and what you're going to do. I think our Chancellor has set the goal, Cotton, about $10 million. It was a little over $5 million. So the only thing we have to do is have to expand the number of people who give it. If we hit a $5 million goal, we want to hit $10 million. So we need to expand, just expand. We're not asking, if you can give more, please give more. But what I want to ask you to do is just, if you can get one other person out of the 15,000 alumni you have to give what you gave, then we can reach at least the $10 million goal. Is that fair? Just one person to give what you gave, we can reach the $10 million goal. Again, Cotton, we need to expand the number of people that's given. And I think we can meet that goal. The university budget, some people ask me, say, the university budget is $50, $60 million. Booker, why do we need our money? Well, let me just say this. That budget and that money come in is pretty well spent. It's pretty well allocated. Every dollar you give this institution means something to this institution. It means a scholarship. It means other dollars, other things that they can do. Your dollar is very, very important. Regardless of how much it is, it's very important to this institution. Very important. So we thank you again, but I need you to help me expand the number of people that's given to this great institution. And one way we can help, again, is through our enrollment. Enrollment is one of the fastest ways to help this institution gain dollars. If we can get this institution back to 4,000 students, in my calculation, we're talking about somewhere around $18.2 million additional dollars that we can bring into this institution. If we can get our enrollment back to, and I'm saying back to because this is something we've done before. We've been at 4,000 students before. So we need you to help us raise the dollars. We need you to help us get students in this institution. And Chancellor, after we get them here, we look for you all to retain them, hold on to them and keep them. And we know you'll do that because you are doing that. When I look at this group and I look at the potential of our alumni, there's one thing that comes to my mind, and I heard someone say this a while back, that the sky is not the limit, it's just the first stop. Thank you very much.
Well, Abel? You all, the conversation, I'm a little hot, sorry about that. The conversation that Mr. Booker and I just had is he said if the band can play Old Town Road by Little Nas X, he would be willing to give $1,000 tonight. How about that? I'm sure we would all love to hear Old Town Road for the 1 millionth time this year. Our students' flight to success would not be possible without you. It would not be possible without you. It would not be possible without you. It would not be possible without anybody in this room, as I'm sure everyone knows that. To recognize you, all of whom are our first-class passengers on this flight, regardless of where you are seated tonight, is Dr. Margaret Martin Hall, Director of Development at the university. Let's welcome her.
They didn't tell me the lights were so bright. That'll get me down from up here really, really fast. I am so pleased that all of you were able to get seating in first class. And you didn't have to pay extra for it. You didn't have to use any points. We were able to do that for you because for us, you're all first class. Thank you for being here tonight. This comes to the portion of the program where we like to recognize the various levels of giving. We know that at UAPB, there is no small gift. Every dime, nickel, dollar that you give to us, when we combine it all together, we can buy books, we can buy supplies, we can pay tuition and fees. So thank you for all gifts, big, small, to us they're all very, very significant. You have your donors report. Please take time, and I know you couldn't do it tonight because you were so mesmerized by this wonderful program that we did for you. It was a wonderful program, right? All right. So you haven't had time to read the donors report. but everyone likes to have something really interesting to read before they go to sleep at night. So we provided this for you. It's your midnight reading. But the first group of donors that we would like to recognize that are actually present in the room, because although we would like to, we cannot afford to entertain everyone who gives to the university. So we have a kind of cutoff point. And that cutoff point is the Leadership Club. These are individuals who make a gift at a minimum level of $500 to $999. Will those of you who are members of the Leadership Club please stand? Thank you. The next club to be recognized is the Dean's Club. These are our donors who, I'm sorry, I made an error regarding the Leadership Club. That's $500 to $1,999. The next club level is the Dean's Club, a minimum gift of $2,000 to $3,999. Will you please stand and be acknowledged? And I would be amiss if I did not recognize new millennium leaders. Will all of the Dorothy Majette Bitmont new millennium leaders in the room please stand? Now, these are the individuals who not only agreed to give us money, they agreed to give us time, and they agreed to give us a positive attitude. So no matter what's circulating out there, they have a positive spin for it. The football, basketball team, soccer team, win no games, they've got a positive spin for it. Enrollment might be down a little bit, they've got a positive spin. They are the most positive group of people that we have associated with the university. So anytime you hear something negative and you want to know something positive, will you please stand again? See, they're so bashful, but these are the individuals who always have something positive to say about the university. If they do not, please let me know. And then there's a group of people we refer to as our lifeline donors, because like Dr. Gilliland, they throw a lifeline to our students and literally save them from leaving college. It's a Darrell Meade Fund that was named by Mr. Samuel Staples, and that fund has grown to over $1 million. So, when students have used all monies from the communities, their churches, their family, their friends, no more Pell Grants, they're all loaned out. The Lifeline Fund literally extends a lifeline to them. So this is not an appeal because we're here to thank you, not to appeal you. Dr. Alexander's going to do that tomorrow at the Alumni Assembly. But keep the Lifeline Endowment Fund close to your heart because these monies help students who have absolutely no other resources. The next group of people I would like to acknowledge is the Prestige Club. Will everyone in the Prestige Club please stand? These are donors who donated a minimum of $4,000 to $6,999. And for some of these donors, we have a special memento. I won't go into the long story of who gets a memento, who does not. But if you are in the Prestige Club, the Chancellor's Club, or a major gift donor, and you don't get a gift tonight or a memento, let us know and we'll make it right, okay? I think the Greers are not present tonight. Mr. Eddie Harris. Mr. Harris is a longtime donor at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and will Dr. Alexander, Mr. Booker, and Mr. Compton, please join him at the front for a photo opportunity. Here's a long-time donor who is giving to our nursing program that, by the way, is doing extremely well. There has been some turbulence with that program, but now we're in smooth sailing. And if Mr. Booker, Dr. Alexander, and Mr. Compton would please remain so that all donors who receive memento would have a photo op. Dr. Hazel Reed. As Dr. Reed comes forward, I'd just like to give you a little background on Dr. Reed. He has held some very prestigious positions, but I think he will tell you that there were none more prestigious than being the Dean of Agriculture at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And now, he is the pilot of the flagship Jefferson County Alumni Chapter. Meet the pilot. Dr. Mary Benjamin, the lady, the lioness, the legacy. She is a lady who absolutely needs no introduction. But if there were grants, new construction on campus, this lady somehow was connected. As Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, she is responsible for tens of millions of dollars. The STEM building would not exist if it were not for Dr. Benjamin. Dr. Benjamin came to me and said, I have this vision for a STEM facility. And she described the facility, and she said, maybe we use Title III funds. That's my other hat. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Benjamin, but it doesn't qualify for Title III funding. And she said, well, what does it take to qualify for Title III funding? We have the STEM building. Thank you, Dr. Benjamin. I compared the donor list with individuals who RSVP. So if you are a member of the Prestige Club and we possibly did not get your RSVP 5 days ago, I may have inadvertently overlooked you. But if you have your books open to page 28 and you are a member of the Prestige Club, if your name is listed there, please come forward. Yes, Mrs. Kelley, you are here. Ms. Clementine Kelley, who had the distinct honor of being the pilot of the Pulaski County Alumni Chapter for several years. Mr. and Mrs. Swift, who moved back to Arkansas recently. And again, Mr. Swift needs no introduction, and the beautiful lady at his side. Mr. Swift is definitely a mover and shaker, not just for UAPB, but in so many arenas, and we thank you for the energy you put into helping students at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Okay, we also have a memento for the Memphis Alumni Chapter. Is anyone present from the Memphis Alumni Chapter? The Tau Sigma Alumni Foundation Incorporated. Do we have a representative from the Tau Sigma Alumni Foundation Incorporated? Is that Mr. Copley? Yes. Yes, Mr. Copley. His beautiful wife Beverly worked on campus for a long, long time. And they are longtime supporters of the university on an individual level. The Houston Alumni Chapter, do we have representatives from the Houston Alumni Chapter? The National Alumni Association, I think I saw Mrs. Bowers in the back of the room earlier. Has she gone? I cannot see. The UAPB, AM&N National Alumni Association. Smart Auto Group, a representative from Smart Auto Group. The next group that we would like to acknowledge is our major gift donors category. For us, a major gift is $10,000, not because the Science of Fundraising says so, but because our circumstances at UAPB say $10,000 will go a very long way. So if you have some dusty $10,000 lying around, no, this is not an appeal, this is a faithful event. But our major gift donors at UAPB begin at $10,000, but I do want you to know that the Science of Fundraising says a major gift is actually $25,000, but I think $10,000 is pretty good because I've been in contact with organizations that say $500 is a major gift. So I think we're walking in tall cotton, Mr. Cotton. Our major gifts range from $10,000 to $2.5 million. And those donors we would also like to acknowledge. Oh, I forgot the most important club. I hope I have a job after tonight. The Chancellor's Club. I was really gonna say the best for last, but they kept whispering in the wing that I'm messing up the order of things, so I'm gonna go back. The Chancellor's Club gives of $7,000 to $999,000, $1 short of a major gift. And to those individuals, we would like to present a memento. Dr. Odell Thorns, Dr. Stephen Brockton, Dr. Cheryl Brockton. Are the Bracey still here? Carl and Catherine Bracey? Great. Now this is an example of what we all want to do with the Flight of Success. When this gentleman retired or made a landing, he increased his donation, it seemed. So he and Mrs. Bracey are obviously making UAPB student needs the source of their investment dollars. And for this, we thank you. I think our other donors are not present. Some of them indicated that they would not be here tonight. But we do have framed mementos for the Pine Bluff Jefferson County Alumni Chapter, Dr. Reed. Or, I'm sorry, accepting on behalf. So now back to our major gift donors, and all of those things I said before now applies. I won't restate them because the evening is going by quickly, and I know you have other things to do once the flight lands. So among our major gift donors, we have mementos we would like to present. Waste Management Center, Mr. Booker. We know you will want to display that proudly in your office. Mr. Booker not only makes sure that his employer gives, every year Mr. Booker and Mrs. Booker match dollar for dollar what their employer gives. And we do appreciate that. So as the chairman of the UAPB Foundation Fund Board, he leads by example. The UAPB AM&N Chicago Alumni Chapter, Mr. Kaysan. Mr. Kaysan has been the pilot of the Alumni Chapter there in Chicago, I think for 13 years, Mr. Kaysan?
That is correct.
He keeps trying to take off his pilot hat, but they keep putting it back on. Do we have a representative of the Delta Sigma Theta Delta Eta Spring 1993 line? Dr. Diane Gilliland, another lady who does not need an introduction. Dr. Freddie Hartfield. Dr. Hartfield is a legend in his own time. There is no one who is likely to beat his record of employment at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, which approached 70 years, and it's going to be pretty darn hard to beat his giving level. Thank you, Dr. Hartfield. Dr. Hartfield is personally responsible for establishing 2 scholarship funds for students that is approximately $250,000. Is Mr. Darrell Daniels present? Mr. Darrell Daniels? Mr. Calvin Booker? This is for the personal gift we received from you and Ms. Janetta. Colonel Henderson Baker could not be present, but he did say he would have a family member here. Is the family member of Colonel Henderson Baker present this evening? And then we have the captain of all flights leaving on the Golden Lion Airways, Dr. Lawrence B. Alexander and Mrs. Alexander. We have a memento for you. Again, Dr. Alexander leads by example in so many ways, with his dollars and with his time. Dr. Alexander works until the wee hours of the morning. And because he leads such a full and robust life, and he sets the example for the rest of us, when we get a text message at 1 a.m., we are awake and ready to answer. Because of the importance of endowment building at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, we would like to recognize everyone who established a scholarship at the minimum level of $25,000. Endowments are the foundation of the financial strength of a university. How far we go in the future may very well depend upon how large our endowment is. We currently have an initiative, and this is not an appeal, this is information sharing. We have an initiative that will match dollar for dollar every dollar you give us for endowment building. So, tonight we recognize the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated Gamma Sigma chapter for establishing a scholarship at the minimum level or higher of $25,000. Is anyone present from the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated? Again, the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Delta Eta chapter representatives from that chapter. The AKA sorority had an initiative nationwide to raise $1 million for HBCUs. We were the recipients of their generosity, and we received an endowed gift of $50,000 from Alpha Kappa Alpha Educational Advancement Foundation Incorporated. So will all AKAs in the room please stand? All AKAs in the room please stand. Would someone like to accept on behalf of your national organization? Maybe the most senior AKA? Not senior in age, but senior in dedication and enthusiasm.
64 years.
64 years, she says. Mrs. Bracy is a representative of the International Organization of AKA. Thank you. And I understand there's a second initiative underway? Yes. All right. Maybe we'll be partakers of that as well. Thank you very much.
Yes, we will.
Dr. Diane Gilliland established an endowment. Well, her last endowment that she established was in excess of $150,000. Now, she has established other six-figure endowments at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, but tonight we salute her on this one that was established in honor of Mr. Linton for the art department. Will you come forward, please, Dr. Yellen? I think the next thing on the program is that we're going to prepare for landing. The flight attendants will get the cabin in order, and the captain will come forward and give us instructions for that landing. But I'm bringing back up Mr. Frederick Price to get us through this next crucial part, because we want a very smooth landing.
Now, before we get there, everyone remember that announcement that I made that Mr. Calvin Booker said he'd be giving $1,000 if the band could play Old Town Road? Well, I don't think the band heard me when I first announced it, so here's your official announcement. The Gotta Play Band again is going to be performing Old Town Road. Let's give them a round of applause. How about that? Let's give them a round of applause. Kind of an impromptu kind of ordeal, but they're always prepared no matter what. Isn't that right?
Right, praise the Lord.
Somebody said praise the Lord. I'd like the class of 1969, 1973, 1974, 1975, and 1979. Anyone in here from those classes, if you could stand, please, and be recognized. There we go. Let's give them a round of applause, everyone. I'd also like to make an announcement. Go Forward Pine Bluff has partnered with UA Pine Bluff to host the Homecoming Grand Royale on Saturday, October 5th at the Pine Bluff Convention Center. This party is for a purpose. It begins at 9 p.m. and will feature the Boast Casino Gaming to win prizes. This party will will have the sound of the Hamiltones. You can purchase tickets at itickets.com, and a portion of the proceeds benefit UAPB. Hope to see you there. Now is the moment we've all been waiting for. The captain of this flight, Chancellor Lawrence B. Alexander, will be coming up. Dr. Lawrence B. Alexander, there he is. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone, as he prepares us for a safe landing tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking. I'd like to ask the flight attendants to prepare the cabin for landing. Passengers, please be sure to bring your seats in upright position. Be sure your tray tables are closed. And check to make sure your seat belts have been fastened. Thank you for flying UAPB Flight 1873. We hope you've enjoyed your flight this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the wonderful, talented musicians and speakers on our flight. When you're booking your next flight, please choose Golden Lions Airways. We would like to thank you, all of you, for coming back at homecoming, coming back to the pride, as the proud lions keep on roaring during homecoming 2019. This night, as has been said all evening, allows us the opportunity to honor and show appreciation to you for your unwavering support to the university. Donors like you recognize the fundamental influence of education on young lives. Recipients appreciate the opportunities and use them to fulfill their potential. Our donors are engaged, an integral part of the university community. Many of you lead lives that are interesting and inspirational.
As your gifts, donor stories, and the impacts of your gifts on our university and our society demonstrate how philanthropy truly can change the world. There are nearly 2,600 reasons to support the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
Those reasons spend their days engaged in lively discussions with professors and classmates, competing on athletic fields and working in the community. Your financial support is central to the university's efforts to recruit and retain students and the best faculty and staff members. In addition, the university must keep its curriculum, its technology, its facilities, and equipment up to date if it is to provide the highest quality of education. No matter the size, every gift makes a difference and counts as a positive vote for the future of UAPB and its students. For the alumni community, a gift is the only measure by which the university can gauge customer satisfaction and approval. And I've said many times, we become better as a university, as an institution, by every dollar you give. That is a true saying. Your continued support has made a great impact on our students and our university while contributing to our legacy of being student-focused, success-driven, and mission-based. It is reassuring to know that whenever dear mother calls, we have loyal alumni eager to answer. Once again, thank you for your steadfast support, and we look forward to future collaborations with you for the success of our university, for the enrichment of our students and our institution. Golden Lion Airways has been in existence for 146 years. And there ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Oh yeah. Golden Lions, keep on roaring. Good evening.